Victoria Schwarzel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Yes, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The country needed to be rescued from the abyss into which it was plunging. The majority of you accepted my offer to lead that rescue mission. The full rescue team also includes you, the people.
Over the past 3 years, the St. Lucian economy has been growing. The growth is being experienced across many sectors, with business confidence up and unemployment down.
This government always defends the interests of the people of St. Lucia.
The 2 years after COVID, and then I get the $1,500. It helped me a lot, and it pushed me in front to open a little business. Now I can put food on my table right now.
When I heard about the MSME, I was like, boom, opportunity. I could make something actually happen, you know.
And young people must not suffer the frustration that they suffer when they go to other organizations.
Entrepreneurship is something that is needed in our country. We need people to take the leap and be entrepreneurs to help the economy grow.
He honored his promise, and I respect him, and I give him thanks. Philip J. Pierre, I thank you with all my heart and soul.
As Prime Minister, I promise to be Prime Minister not for some of the people, but for all the people.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
It is Tuesday, the 6th of August 2024. Welcome once again, everyone, to The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer for the time being, alongside our station manager, Nigel Shamari Nicholas, who is holding on for a few minutes for Jaquan, who is here with us but having to attend urgently to some other matters. It's nice to have you with us once again for another program which airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on Real FM Radio 91.3 for the North, 91.5 South, and also simulcasting on NBC Television Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service, as well as on Facebook Live and YouTube live streaming. I hope you're having a good day so far. I am. It is Expectation Anticipation Tuesday. It is the day when we will know whether we are going to have another medal from the Olympics coming to St. Lucia through a St. Lucian. Whether we'll be celebrating gold again, because, you know, when your first entry, your first foray into medalhood in the Olympics is at the level of gold, right at the very top, your appetite and your expectation tends to want nothing else, nothing less than gold again. And so we will know today whether Julian Alfred, who made short shrift of her semi-final, leading the pack again. But we saw another semi-final that was a little worrying. You know, a gifted, good-looking American called Gabby Thomas, you know, coming in. The only two people who did it in less than 22 seconds, 21 point something, were Gabby Thomas and Julian Alfred in the three semi-finals. Gabby Thomas did it in a little less time than Julian Alfred, but that doesn't count for anything because we saw Julian Alfred pulling up, you know, like they say, shutting it down before actually crossing the finish line, keeping her powder dry, saving the best for last possibly, and maybe Gabby Thomas is the one who will get a surprise, a shocker, when the final of the women's 200 meters at the 2024 Paris Olympics are held not too long from now. I know what your wishes are, St. Lucia. Keep those watch parties alive. And before I forget, I got a message from Cornelia Jacob of a slight change in the venue. It apparently today in Vieux-Fort won't be at Independence Square. It'll be on New Dock Road in Vieux-Fort, near the old cable and wireless, or outside of the old cable and wireless, they said. And she says, please make the announcement for us, share with your newsroom, that the Vieux-Fort watch party is going to be in Vieux-Fort, of course, but this time not on Independence Square, on New Dock Road, outside of the old cable and wireless. The other venues remain the same for the capital on the Derek Walcott Square, and for Grosley at the corner of Notre Dame and Dauphin Street in Grosley Town. I know despite the weather, the rain and all of that, that you won't want to miss that you're not going to miss it, that you'll come out. I mean, we always party in rain. We come out for football, black hat and all of that in blinding rain sometimes. So for Julian Alfred, bringing home possibly a second gold, if she takes the silver, we're going to love her just the same. If she take a bronze, we're going to love her just the same. If she don't medal, I mean, she's still our Juju. She's the national heroine right now. And we are going to put out everything for her in applause. We are proud of her. We wish her the best. But of course, we think she deserves nothing else, nothing less than the gold. All right? Folks, Julian Alfred's performance is causing all kinds of twists in people, making them fall all over themselves, making them saying all different kinds of things. Like I said, let's celebrate. Let's think of the joy of it. I know there's the temptation to engage in endless finger pointing, and I did more for her than you did, and we did that, and so on. Like I say, if people are lying, they must see them, for sure. Don't let them. There seems to be a culture now, especially in the politics of St. Lucia, of trying to overwhelm people's sensibilities, overwhelm their guardedness, overwhelm their vigilance with outrageous lying, and to do it repeatedly. The more it has been refuted, you come back, you say the same thing, you insist upon it, you believe people have forgotten, you come back, you say it again, and over time, people, their sensibilities become, jaded, it becomes dulled, it becomes something where they're desensitized, cauterized, it no longer, so that lie can become normalized because people are no longer responding to it. I thought I drew a parallel the other day that it is, the faculty equivalent of what the molecular or cellular equivalent of insulin resistance and so on, that your body no longer responds. I mentioned something in the brain about how they call it the neurotransmitters, where when you've abused drugs and whatever so much over time and all of that, the pleasure centers of the brain, they are no longer excited. You need more and more neurotransmitters. So that is how the addict gets deeper and deeper and deeper into the cocaine addiction and those things, because they need to stimulate more of those neurotransmitters to bombard, those receptor cells in the brain, so that you can get an equivalent sense of satiety and pleasure and that sort of thing. So overindulgence in it over time leads to a desensitization that you need bigger, more massive doses of it in order to get the same rush, in order to get the same high. And likewise, people who tell lies like this, because it is maliciously done, deliberately, so that they can bring people into a sort of a psychological subjugation, so that they can gain the ascendancy over you, so that they can gain control of your mind. They lie, they lie, they lie, they lie. Over time, they become desensitized to their own lying, and they reach a point where, my friend, they actually believe their own lies. They don't even know that they're lying. They no longer have the ability to compartmentalize their mind, so that, they utter the deception, but there is another part of them which is aware that they're being deceptive, that they're lying. So they're able to separate between what they're telling you to fool you, to mama guy you, but inside of them, they know that they're lying. There comes a point where that wall, that divider, or as the electronics people would say, that dielectric, a little component of a capacitor that actually prevents the plus and the minus from actually making contact. So because of that little separation, a charge builds up, a tension, which is what voltage is about, tension. That dielectric collapses. So there is a complete fusion in the circuit and so on. They no longer know what is positive, what is negative. They speak the lie and they believe the lie, and they're no longer even aware that they're lying. Lying becomes so normalized to them. Like I tell you, I mentioned about the drugs and the neurotransmitters. These are people who are on cocaine, who are addicts. They can lie and they have no conscience. They have no kind of, self-awareness about what they're doing and so on. These are people who can beat a lie detector test. They can go and take a polygraph and they will pass it with flying colors, because they will lie and they're so at peace with their lying that nothing that shows up on the polygraph to indicate deception, like increased heart rate, deeper breathing or hyperventilating or so on, they're not going to show it. They're at peace with their lying. But let me tell you this, to those of us who know the truth, let us never let them pass with it. Call them out. Minister Sean Edward, I am pleased and proud of you that you're not letting these lies pass. Minister Ernest Ile, people hate you because you're not allowing their deceptions to pass. Honorable Richard Frederick, let them call you all kinds of names, but I know not only do you demarty them, but you do so with evidence, with facts, with documents, with proof. They can hate you for that. Do not stop ever. Ambassador Peter Lansik-Opel, I see you're doing a wonderful job also on social media, calling out people and pointing out their BS, what they are saying to try to fool people. And there is a mood of desperation you can sense in them, that they recognize things are happening. They recognize it's a steady stream of promises made, promises kept. You can't quarrel with that, You cannot quarrel with the evidence of people who tell you, I am going to do this. I'm going to implement a minimum wage. I am going to implement a minimum pension amount for government pensioners or whatever. I am going to do this. I'm going to work on the roads and create infrastructure. I'm going to charge a health and security levy and I'm going to use it to fund that. And you see what they say, the progress of the hospital. You see those things happening. You can go around saying everything about he's fooling you, he's lying to you, they're fooling you. But all what you're trying to do, people see in hospital, they see in hospital working. They're seeing roads being worked upon. Progress may be slow and frustrating at times. They're seeing halls of justice going up. They're seeing custody suites being, re-established and reconstructed and so on. They're seeing those things. So all your little efforts to play with people's minds about, they're lying to you, they're fooling you, they're doing you this, they're doing you that. And this is why they're trying to mash up the Citizens by Investment program. The citizenship, by investment program. Because they know that the funds from the CIP are going to be used to fulfill the promises that were made to people in the manifesto that preceded July 26, 2021. They know that this is going to happen. They also know that there will be compliance and conformity with the advice given by our central bank to use at least some of the proceeds of the CIP to pay down the national debt. They're trying to create all kinds of animosity in the health sector for problems they created, such as many of the problems that they identify now with the Citizenship by Investment Program. They are the ones who put those things in place. They are the ones who caused those problems. The tardiness with St. Jude and all going and interfere with plans that were already approved, things that were already the subject of international consultancies that donors sponsored and all, to go and mess around with it so that you can redo the awarding of contracts, that you can then divert them to the people who are your favorite people. For whatever reason, we have our own ideas why you did it, and we know why it is being done. That when you see those things are being done, you know that the nail is driving deeper into your coffin, because people are seeing things that are being done, things that were a problem, things that money that should have gone for the beneficial interest of the people of St. Lucia were lining the pockets of friends, family, foreigners. We know about it. We know about it in Diamol. We know about it with Cabot. We know about it with so many other things, including expensive junkets, like one to the UK that for 8 days cost the taxpayers of this country £2,000 sterling. Not Guyana dollars, not even US dollars, 2,000 British pounds sterling per night for 8 days, on the backs of the people that are so Malawi that you yourself are crying the kind of poverty that you found them in, but you are going to lift them out of it. You are going to put them on such a sound economic footing, and the GDP per capita would be so improved that when these people applied for a visa, the Americans would have no problems. That said, man, the people who are doing well like that, they wouldn't want to mawo in America. They wouldn't want to abscond. They wouldn't want to, not come back and so on. The beautiful St. Lucia and so on. Did we see that? With the JP and a man who's a braggart, who brags and says he can do this and he can do that and all this thing. He goes about doing it. He simply states what his intention is and he sets about to doing it. That is what leadership is about. He ain't encouraging people who are his PR aides or whatever they call themselves to be cussing off everybody all the time, Once he sees something arise and he believes it can lead to that kind of back and forth sniping, first thing he says, no, we're not taking that approach. We're not taking that approach. We're not taking the victimizing approach. We're not going and fire people when they have time on their contract. Let the contract go. Even if it means that contractors, building contractors, construction firms, whatever, that you may have said you prefer not to want to do anything with them because of their association with a lot of the underhandedness that went on before. You say, okay, there is a contract that they have, rather than going through expensive litigation and in court and paying them for balance of their contract that was never fulfilled. Let them do the work. Let them do the work. We're not on any kind of vendetta, but I know if you see certain people regain the levers of power in this country, I am telling you, even things that have been perfectly entered into and contracted and settled, they don't mind they putting backhoe in it to mash it up, whether it's halls of justice. They're going back to the hospital and they're smashing things, sometimes even their own box, state of the art and so on. They're going and they're putting excavator and airport and whatever, they're mashing it up for two reasons. They want to do it over so that their friends can get contract, so that their families can get the rental money, of premises that they don't want the government and the state and the judicial system to own it. They want the rent to be paid to certain places. And that is why you see in this uptick in political activity, the desperation of some people who realize, that the nefarious underhandedness that they were doing in order to milk the state of money, that it is drying up now. Philip JP allowed a lot of them to continue. You're there already? Okay, we're not going to pull out of the contract and then we have to pay you for premises and space we're not occupying. Just let it run out. The time is running out on a lot of those contracts. And so there is a desperation to bleed the treasury of St. Lucia so as to feed. And you have to ask yourself a question, just like I've asked it about Donald Trump in the States. How really wealthy are certain people? And if they're wealthy, how much of their wealth really derives from their own ingenuity and their geniuses, and they were smart and they were great investors, and how much of it was due, how much of it was due to that ability to, like I said, milk the public coffer. Donald Trump, a lot of tax dodging, it seems. Remember in the 2016 elections, he was asked about his income tax returns of how many years he couldn't produce them. And his excuse was that he cannot because there is an ongoing audit that is being conducted. Well, we're now into another election cycle, in America. Up to now, he cannot produce those tax returns. That audit is going to go on and on and on because he don't want to. And like Mitt Romney said, maybe the guy just isn't as wealthy as he wants to make us believe. Hillary Clinton said that. A lot of it represents the man stiffing the system, trying to really play the system and manipulate the system to his advantage. Maybe in St. Lucia, some of the people who have been regarded and lauded as being having the Midas touch, the golden touch, and being geniuses in business, maybe you're not. Maybe that's what they're doing. Influence pushing, influence peddling, so that they will stop progress, in this country, or that the money will come to them. Who knows things that have been stopped, and their people? Keep our eyes open all the time and watch out for certain people. They are dangerous. Watch out for your police garage and so on. If they are not people who will be trying to sabotage the garage and pay people inside there, not to do good work on them, so that the contracts can come to them, so that there can be a continuous flow of business. People can be very, very dirty, especially a certain type of people who are ruthless to a fault, who are unconscionable, who are absolutely rapacious and avaricious and so on, and they want everything for themselves. Sometimes the foundation of their wealth was not based upon good practices of integrity, of business ethics and so on. Sometimes there were people who were really cheats, who were really thieves, who were really destabilizers of the system, and it is passing from one generation to the other. Not necessarily, but watch them. Watch them. Once you see people can set criminal foreigners, unleash them like pack dogs on your own citizenship by investment program for which you were responsible, is a parade of people who have criminal convictions and histories that involves a hard time in prison, on each occasion it is. Once you have people like that, you're setting them up to come after local people. And so, why am I riled up about this thing? It's because of a message I got from somebody this morning while I was hosting Zafeno. And the person asked me, let me see, I want to get it. I want to get it, I want to get the exact thing where somebody asked me something about why is Stevenson King talking to Martinez? By that they're talking about Philip Martinez. And let me get that, I need to get it. First of all, how do we know that King actually spoke to Martinez? And if he spoke to him, that he said anything that is incriminating or anything purposefully critical, whether of Hile or the CIP or whatever. How do you realize this is the game that Martinez is playing? Martinez is spreading that kind of mayhem of suspicion among people, going and saying, this one told me that, and you'll be surprised, you need to come to Washington, because I'm telling you, I spoke to so and so and so, and he told me some things that are extremely damaging to you, and we need to be able to get to the bottom of this thing and to come to some arrangement. Yeah, this is what somebody sent me saying. Good morning, my brother. Why is Mr. King having meetings with Martinez? Isn't that the same thing? McLeod Emmanuel happened to go to New York to do something and decided to answer the guy's invitation. McLeod didn't leave St. Lucia to travel to New York or Washington, wherever, to meet with Martinez. He agreed to meet with him because he was perplexed as to why his name is being joined to a lawsuit that Martinez is threatening when he knows the CIP in St. Lucia had never done any business with Martinez. When he knows that even though a company called Galaxy or Caribbean Galaxy, which was operating in St. Kitts, then may have had some involvement up there, nothing tal go so for St. Lucia. You want to find out. You tell the man it's a goodwill kind of conversation. But then you use it to dangle, that sword threat, of insinuation over his head that I have something damaging, and you try to use that on Ernest Hilaire, that, McLeod told me some things and I have it recorded. And I'll say it again. You have already said you're going to sue a man. If you have those things and you call them evidence, the conversations that you, in a very underhanded, sneaky, devious manner, make people believe is just you want to show them things that you have by using whatever interactions. It's possible. I'm not even going to ask Mr. King that Martinez decides to have a conversation with him about infrastructure option. And knowing Stevenson King, he's a man not just today, not because he's serving in a Labour Party cabinet and so on. King is the kind of man, he'll listen to you. He's polite. If you filming King while he's talking, even he'll tell you, he'll nod his head and so on and say, okay, that's right, I understand. This is the way King does. He's open to people. He's not a man who rebuffs and huffs people and all of that easy. Maybe his politeness is his weakness and so on. Martinez may or may not have spoken to King. And King may have, yes, this is something which is worth looking into. It doesn't mean King said, but Martinez will hold that. He holds it as some kind of, I've spoken to King, and King has told me some things which, Ernest Hilaire is the target. We know who's behind this thing, and this person is after Ernest Hilaire. He's been after Ernest Hilaire for God knows how long. Ernest Hilaire told us the other day, and I'd already said that this thing goes way back to Cricket World Cup 2007 held in the West Indies, and Ernest Hilaire was the CEO of Cricket World Cup St. Lucia. It goes way back. Alan Shastney apparently is a much more vindictive person than even I and many others suspected. And why am I bringing his name into it? Because he's flying a flag too much and using Martinez as his cause celeb. Like, we got them. There's a scandal. Scandal says who? Where is the scandal? Because Martinez says it's a scandal, it's a scandal? That's how we judge ourselves and assess what is our own? That some criminal foreigner says there's a scandal, and so there's a scandal? And I keep on saying, if the guy has all this damning evidence, why does he not just be content to include it as part of his revelations in his lawsuit? It's like you have a lawsuit, you proclaim the lawsuit, but you still want to come and to run a whole PR program about the lawsuit and what you have, and like you're trying to tell people, come and talk to you, like you are the court summoning people, like you are one-man commission of inquiry, and the goalpost keeps shifting. One time it is loss that he has, but when he cannot show that St. Lucia has brought him any loss, it is that he wants to hold Caribbean Galaxy accountable for what? For what they're doing in St. Lucia, like you want to dictate who we do business with because you had a bad experience with them. Then the goalpost shifts that he wants to be a champion and a hero of St. Lucians and to help them get back the money that they have lost, which have taken. Why you? What's your interest? What's your legitimacy? What's your locus standi to come and stand up as the champion of St. Lucians to give them the restitution of what was taken for them? Why doesn't Alan Shastney take that role? He is a representative, if only of a constituency in St. Lucia. He has a national office as leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition. He is chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. Why is he hiding behind a criminal foreigner? Come and do your work. Make an application to the court. File for an injunction. File for an application for judicial review. To come and say that the CIP unit in St. Lucia is violating the very laws under which they should operate. Why does it have to be in Florida that it is being litigated when there is sufficient redress in our courts, the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, to which can be appealed, the Caribbean Court of Justice, where you have gotten favorable outcomes, you hiding behind Martinez? So like I say, this thing about King having meetings with Martinez must be deliberately contacting people so that he can have on record that he spoke to them. And so now he can have this kind of, insinuation that will worry people and make people panic and so on and all of that. And he succeeded to some extent. I suspect, I can't be too sure, that people will be afraid that their US visa will be pulled and whatever. You know how that visa represents, the holy grail for many of us and the fear of losing it. So, what is happening at the CIP with resignations and threatened resignations may well be Martinez succeeding in intimidating some people who are not made of sufficiently stern stuff, who tremble at the knees very quickly. He was hoping to have that effective McLeod Emmanuel. It did not work. Martinez trying to summon Ernest Hilaire and summon Philip J. Pierre to come to Washington. Why don't you travel to St. Lucia and tell them, look, gentlemen, I want an appointment with you because there's some worrying things I want to bring to your attention. And why does it have to be Martinez? Why doesn't he give the information to Alan Chasney as leader of the opposition, chairman of Public Accounts Committee, who can present it in Parliament, who can take some court action against it? Martinez, who the hell is Martinez to want to pull up our elected representatives who have earned the confidence of the people through the ballot box? Who are you? You know. So let me say this. Martinez can call me. I would prefer not to. But chances are he'll call you, talk to you in a disarming kind of way. There probably is a certain lawyer, you know, a maniacal lawyer, who's behind, directing him and prodding him what questions to ask, and they're recording. And I hope when this thing is ventilated in court, if ever it is, that the subject of unethical behavior and deliberate entrapment, you know, that these matters come up. That the attempt to intimidate opponents and potential witnesses and defendants and so on with the threat or the fear that you have compromising recordings on them and so on, when you are calling them to say, look, man to man, let's have a chat about this, but you're recording them, and then you call it. You know, police do that in the good cop, bad cop scenario. They have had people to vomit and to confess to them. They interview and cross and question and whatever people separately and so on. You know, so then they come and they say, Nigel, look, man, let me tell you, don't give yourself trouble. We've already spoken to Shelton, and Shelton has already told us everything. You know, so, you know, we know you all killed this person there, but look, talk to us. We realize Shelton is the one who did most of the thing. You probably just stood there, and he was the one who landed the blows. So we'll plead for lesser time for you because you should have reported it. They do that all the time. And then the other person, believing that it's game over for them or something, they go and they vomit everything. They squeal on the other person. They give up the other person. Good cop, bad cop game. It works. Are there any bad cops in this? Yeah, because some people have determined that Ernest Hilaire is a bad cop. Ernest Hilaire may be nothing more than the target of a personal vendetta. And I want to appeal to some of you who are comrades. Because sometimes there are comrades who are very chicken, who are weak. Or comrades who already have their little beef and their little gripe and their little grudge against somebody. Who before you hear anything, you're already trying to distance yourself. Or I've seen people, they're in a setting of a bar or somewhere, and people talking against, you know, a certain person and against your party, against a comrade of yours. And in order to feel a sense of, you know, me, one thing with me, I support, but I'm very fair playing person, and I don't go along. And you know, before you know it, you lending comfort. You're lending comfort to somebody who's a vilifier. Because you want to show like you're so, you know, like you're so above it and you're so above board and you're such a moral person and so on. So, you know, you hear some bad talk about Ernest Hilaire and you join in, you know. You join in. Or you hear something because you have some beef against him for something that he's a straight talker and he says things like it is and so on. We've been friends for a long time, but if you see Ernest Hilaire, you have to pick up the phone and call me and say, you know, the typical way he calls me from school days, Chappie, you know, let me tell you, Chappie, today I didn't appreciate that at all. XYZ. He'll tell it to me so. You know. He will tell it to me so. So I don't know where this kind of thing, where there are some comrades who are going to badmouth or sit there and badmouth. There are places I walk in and I don't bother to go there again. You can almost tell from the time I come in certain conversations that they start. And in the corner of my eye, I can see them glancing at me because it's deliberate. They set up those conversations to see how Daniel will react. You know, one thing I can tell you about this government, you know, they like to create appearances. How the St. Jude thing. They're just trying to see how I'll react. They're just trying to see if they can engage and tell me. But I'm somebody, I don't just tell you to keep your powder dry. Keep mine dry. The Shelton Daniel you see and you hear on the radio, and the man you're going to find when he sit down one place having a little drink or whatever and so on. I keep my powder dry. I save my energy and my fire for when I'm here. I ain't going to go in any kind of voice raising thing at Banan, you know, or anywhere else and so on because, you know, people relay a little bit for me and they want to put me on the spot and they want to say, I go there a couple of times and I see that's the vibe you on and you're going to see me there again. When you see I'm in my relax mode, it's strictly relaxed. I come to fight with anybody and so on. This is a program that I do for a certain purpose. But too many of comrades that I know, they go and they want to show, like me, man, I'm a fair man. I look at things objectively. I don't look at things objectively. I don't. I am a member and supporter unapologetically of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And if being Labour is a disease, I have said it more than once, consider me an incurable case. Not just for party's sake, but for what the St. Lucia Labour Party stands for and has always stood for throughout my life. I believe in it. It don't mean that if something wrong is done, and I know it is wrong, that I ain't gonna come. And I think you all have heard me on this program. At times I have said there are certain things that I don't believe are the best way and the right way to do it. And I'm even happy that I don't have a government job, that I did not seek a government job, that I'm working for a private company. So I am able, within the ambit of my own beliefs and convictions, that if I can see something is ill-advised, that I will say it is ill-advised as well. But I come and pretend, if I come down, you're deliberately taking a conversation to see how I will react and this kind of thing. I'm going to join and say, boy, I feel people on them, they should not have done that and so on. If I say so, it's because it's a conviction coming deep from my heart. I am doing it so that I will appease you all, so that I'll make myself more acceptable to you all. And I ain't doing that. My positions, when I take them, they are considered, they are thought out. They are things that I ruminate, that I turn around in my mind, in my belly, in my heart, in my soul, in my spirit, until I am convinced of it. But I ain't coming nowhere to make myself, the kind of guy, Shelton's a fella, one thing about him, yeah, man. No. Shelton is passionate. Shelton is a convicted person. He don't come to impress anybody with what his views are. His views are things that he has meditated upon, that he has thought upon, even prayed about before he holds them. It don't mean I don't listen to people. But this kind of thing where, sometimes you go to a certain place, whether it's a bar or whatever, the fellas rehearse their thing already. They come into the bar pretending it's a drink they come to order. When they come there, they vex. Their face vex. So, the bar owner will tell them, what happened to you? Got some. So, picture me now, tax and gas. Mama should tell me, Massa Mimpali. You they see there, they put in on a little show for you. Saki vo gaso. Gaso betis ba gaso. Mon katen Philip JP ka kisa. Si yo election te kuyo hodia, se buksa de kay kuyo ne mo usab. Mo de kay vote by se buksa. Mais jamais bo ma satan ka kisa ebe Richard Frederick. It's a little show, they put in on there. So you will feel, especially around election time, they do that a lot. I would have voted. There's always a take high. My take high vote. Mo much take high vote by Sebuksa. Sebuksa much going election. Labour take half finger. You take high going. Yeah, you're gonna feel, Labour so bad because, and I'm telling you, the UWP people, they're very good at that. They're very good at that kind of thing. But you're going to feel, oh my goodness, Labour has done something which is so bad, man, that they're not going to win. They're going to lose. And right away, somebody else come on. Sometimes not anything they know, but because of the convincing way the other person has done it. Don't try that by me. It don't go work by me. It go work by other people who maybe have more feeble minds and are not cooked in their own beliefs. Not me, it's going to work with. These little acts and these little games, don't try them by me. I may be a guy out of shape and I obsock and I look like a bululu and so on, but thank God, you see what's up there? I'm not the brightest guy, but I'm very fortified in my belief system and my convictions. I'm like, oh, you are shaking me up with that kind of crap, And so sometimes I just avoid those places when I see that kind of pathetic nonsense. People do it to you on a personal level, There are some people, when they know they have to come and tear into you. And I know Nigel will be over time, forgive me, When they know they have to tear into you, you know what they do? They first come and they praise you. Shelton is one of the best, is one of the most articulate people, who expresses himself. All right, they do that now. Next week, they had their plan already, They're coming for you and they're tearing you to bits. And you know how they usually start? I don't think anybody will believe I have anything against Shelton. I've praised him openly. I've expressed my admiration and even my respect for him. I've said, so right away it is that Shelton, they're setting it up. Shelton must have done something really, really, really bad for that guy who was just praising him to come out against him. It was all planned already. That they're coming for you and now people will say, boy, he must have really done something bad. That this man who was praising him a week or two ago is now coming. It was all part of a plan. They wanted to come for you. That is why when people call here and they praise me to the skies, and it's been so for years, people have said, Shelton, you look like a man you don't feel comfortable with when people call you. Yes, I'm not comfortable. Now, there are genuine people, but many times when you see people come praising me effusively and all of that to the skies and so on, I often am wary. I have a healthy bit of paranoia about me, People think paranoia is a bad thing. I think in the proper dose and quantity, paranoia is a healthy thing. I have a healthy paranoia even when people are being nice to me. I'm paranoid even to the point of being mildly self-destructive. So you see, I'm always wary. I'm always asking myself, what is the setup? What is coming next? Once you start about, boy, you're one of the best, and I'm waiting for now the but. Wait for the but. Most times it doesn't come, but I'm always watching out for it. Comrades, watch out for the games that people play when they have already premeditated how they're going to come for you, how they're going to come after you, how they're going to set you up, how they're going to put you in a position. Shelton, I want you to tell me what you think of that. I want to see what they're going to say. I know you're a man, you're there. Most times, I dismiss that. I quash it with, I make short shrift of it, as I like to say. Most times I just don't answer this foolishness. I walk. I met a guy, a relative somewhere, wanted to start some my way with me. And I said, let me tell you this. I'm feeling dehydrated and hot. I came here to have a drink, to cool down. And I want to run any of this chat with you, okay? Now, this is my time. Grant me it. Permit me to enjoy it. And that's it. He said, so you're not going to buy a drink for me? I said, no, you were drinking before I came. You have all your drink and so on. I ain't buying you no drink and so on. I could have bought a drink, but I just wanted to send out the message that you see the my way and the papi show and the lady that you want to draw me into and so on. You're not getting through me in that. We ain't raising glasses or bottles to each other and so on. And sometimes that's the way you got to deal with them. You have to act in a manner that borders on even being unfriendly. Not necessarily hostile, but even unfriendly. Not to let people like that make any inroads, not to grant them what I call a bridge to your spirit. This is the real issues. We're way overdue for a commercial break. Let's take it now and we'll be back shortly.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boost your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The country needed to be rescued from the abyss into which it was plunging. The majority of you accepted my offer to lead that rescue mission. The full rescue team also includes you, the people.
Over the past 3 years, the solution economy has been growing. The growth is being experienced across many sectors, with business confidence up and unemployment down.
This government always defends the interests of the people of St. Lucia.
The 2 years after COVID, and then I get the $1,500. It helped me a lot, and it pushed me in front to open a little business. Now I can put food on my table right now.
When I heard about the MSME, I was like, boom, opportunity. I could make something actually happen, you know.
And young people must not suffer the frustration that they suffer when they go to other organizations.
Entrepreneurship is something that is needed in our country. We need people to take the leap and be entrepreneurs to help the economy grow.
He honored his promise, and I respect him, and I give him thanks. Philip J. Pierre, I thank you with all my heart and soul.
As Prime Minister, I promise to be Prime Minister not for some of the people, but for all the people.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with The Real Issues on this Tuesday, August the 6th, 2024. Let's say welcome to Jaquan, who has joined us during the commercial break. And thanks to Nigel for holding things together at the controls during the first portion of the program. Now, someone sent this to me, and like I said, I normally don't replay things, especially as I consider I'm giving a further platform and outlet and pedestal to things that are unhelpful. But you have to be fair sometimes and ask yourself, is it true what Mr. Leonard Spider Montot is alleging? That when it's labor that's in power, you have people who ought not to be involved in political activity, who should be ineligible because they are public servants and because they are... You listen to the short clip and the comments which the person who sent it to me. You know, he's alleging that basically Labour has a double standard. They will condemn Flambeau for certain people who are at the forefront of party politics and so on, decked out in their yellow and so on, but the Labour Party will do this. So, Jaquan, if you have the video already lined up. All right. He said, all right, let me just see if there are any comments in the meantime while Jaquan is getting it put together. I forgot that he just came to the board. Yeah, good afternoon to Angie Kedu, who says, Comrade, couldn't agree with you more. I'm loyal just like you. You were so passionate and so on. And that's the thing, you know, some people want to make you feel ashamed and funny of who you are and what you believe. And you know, you go certain places and you try to hang out there and it's a continuous... I mean, you want to engage me in a conversation. Engage me in a conversation. It's always a kind of a mépris and a parole jeté. You have to be dropping for me. And sometimes I go to certain places and I don't see certain people at first. You know, it might be the day that they normally don't come. And then over time, you begin to see them showing up. And it's almost like maybe somebody told them that Shelton Daniel hangs out there. So they come so that they can drop because you're the talk show host and so on. You know, I'm a guy, I'm approachable. You want to come and talk to me? I heard you say something today and, you know, I disagree or whatever. I'm okay. It's like it's a parole jeté, like you're deliberately showing up. Sometimes you almost wonder if you're being stalked. You know, if certain people, they have been told or they know that you hang out there, that they show up there so that they can drop. I don't deal in this kind of mépris and this kind of parole jeté thing and all of that. I'm right there. You want to talk to me? Talk to me. You don't have to be a quarrel. I mean, I am and I've always been an engaging person without it being like, you know, we have to be screaming at the top of our voices to people and that sort of thing. So over time, once I notice it, you just go see me there again. You know, I'll just... You know, if I do show up there, I'll try to be like Sizzler, you know, the element of surprise. I show up today, now you see me, now you don't. So you can never tabulate and track and get a fix on when I'm going to be there, when I'm not going to be there. I just don't like this kind of nonsense, you know. And this business of, I'm going to warn you, know, some of you Labour Party people, because maybe you've fallen for that thing. Maybe people who are followers of an organization, they have a beef with somebody. So their approach is, I want Labour to win, but I want so-and-so to lose. So they're going to try to conduct themselves in some kind of personal campaign where they're working, you know, for the party to win, but I want to make this person lose and so on, you know. I want to make honest. If sufficient numbers of you think that way and you are effective as you believe you can be, if you are indeed effective, you might end up just making the whole thing lose. And let me tell you this. To me, any right-thinking person who had any doubt about not supporting the United Workers' Party, I can see no other outcome of Alan Chastain's ascent to the leadership of the UWP and subsequently the Prime Ministership of St. Lucia. That if I was somebody and I had doubts about the Labour Party and I had a feeling that, okay, let me give Flambeau a chance, I'm telling you, the performance of Alan Chastain in office, his behavior since coming out of office, would do only one thing, as it has done for me and for many other people. It has strengthened my resolve. If ever I needed a reason to feel solidified in my justification, in my sense of righteousness about supporting the Labour Party, Alan Chastain has done it for me. He has strengthened my resolve in being a Labourite. And so anybody, because they have had a little beef or a little misgiving about or with Ernest Hilaire, that they want to go and to throw their weight and to support and to find all kinds of things and even to think that maybe they can work for Labour Party to win and Ernest Hilaire to lose. I'm just using Ernest Hilaire because he's the man where most of the attacks him trained on and so on. I'm telling you, I can bear the faults and the so-called shortcomings of 1,000 Ernest Hilaires than for me to even one day toy with the idea of supporting Alan Shastney to return to office as the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. I'm telling you that. And I know a lot of people who are to the bone and to the heart fundamentally Flabo people, supporters of the United Workers' Party. And what really clinched it and nailed it for them in deciding, look, I cannot continue supporting the UWP is because of Alan Shastney. Alan Shastney has strengthened the resolve of a lot of people in turning them off on the United Workers' Party. And not just him, you know, that usually somebody like that is reflected by the people that they pick and the people that they gather around them and the people that they cause to converge around them and pull to them, who they appoint and use. These are usually the same type of people like them, or people who help them to achieve their objectives and fulfill their agenda. And it ain't pretty. I'm telling you this. If I needed anything to convince me and to persuade me that it is not sensible to look anywhere else than to the SLP under Philip J. Pierre, I needed nothing more than Alan Shastney to strengthen that resolve. I'm telling you so with all my heart. We have a short video clip of Leonard Spider Montut as a recent, event of the United Workers' Party. Let's hear what he had to say.
Now, before I call the next caller, I just want to talk about something. Sorry, the next speaker. I think I'm on a talk show now. I want to mention something that disturbs me. Very often, our people want to step forward and demonstrate their political affiliation, but because of where they work, they hold back. But for the St. Lucia Labour Party, it seems as if it is a free-for-all. They can, when and if they want. And we have another case in point that has just taken place. They just had a meeting of the St. Lucia, the AGM of the St. Lucia Labour Party Youth Organization, the SLPYO. And guess who is the president of the SLPYO? Nikolai Lansiko. Now, let me just say this. Quite apart from the fact that he's a public servant, I want to ask the question, isn't he the first vice president of the CSA? And if you're the first vice president of the CSA and you have an executive position on the St. Lucia Labour Party, which is the present government, whose interests are you going to represent? Can you be objective in dealing with the interests and concerns of your members? I call on the CSA members to look into this. This nonsense have to stop. This has to stop. We cannot have that kind of foolishness taking place in this country. And I notice in their pictures, you see principals sitting in front with their red. You see all kinds of people, but when our people demonstrate their affiliation, you all want to call for the dismissal and so on. Well, let me just tell you, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And we Flabos not going to be intimidated by them. CSA, let me see where you all stand, whether you all going to allow yourselves to be used, bullied and intimidated by the St. Lucia Labour Party government, and whether you're going to take a stand in the interest of your members. Because I'm telling you, when this man goes to represent you, he'll be representing his party, not you. Because all they're interested in is protecting their victory, not protecting you. Ladies and gentlemen, moving right along. I would like to call now.
We're due for a commercial break. Let's take it, and when we come back, I want you to tell me whether you think Spider has a point or not. Is it one-sided? Is it lopsided? Is it invidious that Labour makes noise about Flabo operatives and their affiliation, but they're okay with their own operatives? Is he right? Is it sensible? Is it smart? Is it relevant for him to use the union as a point of reference? The union is not a government department. And if one party and its people are more adept, more skilled at hiding themselves than another, was David DeMarc not considered an absolute icon, a legend in the trade union movement and within the CSA and so on, as its president for a long time, later as its general secretary? Was there ever any doubt where he stood? That he was not a Labour Party man and so on? Wasn't Mary Isaac, didn't she manage to maneuver herself in control of the CSA and so on? And she said that she was going to, her aim was to depoliticize the union. Did she do that? And when she showed up as a candidate after having a meeting with Alan Shastney and so on, is it something that just happened overnight? That don't you think there were talks that had been going on and so on? And I mean, we can go on and on and on and on. Is that relevant that somebody in a union, can you really dictate to union people whatever? Isn't the proof of the pudding when it comes to trade unionism in the eating of negotiations and bargaining and what best deal and results you can get for your people? Even so-called flambeau operatives in unions and so on, that's what I know they have been concerned about. They're not going to go on strike and lead demonstration and so on if they ask for 15% and they're able to go to their members and say the government is prepared to give us 12%. What should we do? And they say take it and so on and the matter is settled. I don't know that they go on strike just because they're flambeau, because they have their membership that will rein them in and so on. But does he have a point? Do you think so? You'll share your thoughts with me on that and any other matters that you wish to after this break. This is The Real Issues.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi bus stop opposite the Grosile bus stop. Prio's Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Yes, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you at Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The country needed to be rescued from the abyss into which it was plunging. The majority of you accepted my offer to lead that rescue mission. The full rescue team also includes you, the people.
Over the past 3 years, the solution economy has been growing. The growth is being experienced across many sectors, with business confidence up and unemployment down.
This government always defends the interests of the people of St. Lucia.
The 2 years after COVID, and then I get the $1,500. It helped me a lot, and it pushed me in front to open a little business. Now I can put food on my table right now.
When I heard about the MSME, I was like, boom, opportunity. I could make something actually happen, you know.
And young people must not suffer the frustration that they suffer when they go to other organizations.
Entrepreneurship is something that is needed in our country. We need people to take the leap and be entrepreneurs to help the economy grow.
He honored his promise, and I respect him, and I give him thanks. Philip J. Pierre, I thank you with all my heart and soul.
As Prime Minister, I promise to be Prime Minister not for some of the people, but for all the people.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
On Real FM Radio, 91.3 North, 91.5 South, and NBC Television, Channel 120 Flow Cable Service, as well as on the Facebook Live and YouTube live streaming. And the telephone lines are open for your calls. The mobile telephone number on which you can WhatsApp call us is 487-9849. That's 487-9849. And you can also reach us on 4533-911, our landline number. When Marcella Johnson was treasurer of the UWP and sitting on the Public Service Commission making decisions on appointments, promotions, transfers, disciplinary action and dismissal of civil servants, what did Spider have to say? Or when she was appointed an independent senator to ensure passage of their draconian COVID legislation. They used the high office of GG for personal glory. That's a message I got on WhatsApp. Another one says, while Spider was a sports officer in Mario Michel's ministry, he was actively and openly campaigning. His vehicle was decked with political symbols, packed waterfronts. All right. Anyone remembers the case of Dr. Andre Matthew and his spouse Cornelia? I think it was Gina was her name, Gina Cornell or something like that was her name. Both declaring their UWP affiliation and vying in UWP candidate selection process. Challenges to civil service staff orders, etc., etc. Selective amnesia. Okay, I'm not sure if any of this really applies to what he was talking about, but maybe it does. It's not my... a message flash says, Dr. Andre was then working in the public sector at VH or OKEUH. That's OKEU Hospital, I guess. Okay. Shelton, the UWP has always sought to place public servants who are highly supportive of their party to sit on the executive of the CSA. Wasn't Mary Isaac the president of CSA while she was a senator for the UWP? All right, another person says regarding Spider, I don't think he has a point. On the contrary, I think he has a problem. He sounds angry, incoherent, and his tongue is heavy. All right. Another message says, was Spider so busy planning for a kidnapping that he never noticed Mary Isaac in the CSA? I agree with you, Spider. What was good for goose then is good for the gander now. Man, sit down and take another sip of your favorite. And they speak of a drink. All right. It's not ginger ale or shandy, I can assure you. But I don't want to put that out for the insinuation. When I said about people who try to, frame their criticism and prep you for an attack by saying how great you are and so on, someone sent a message, said, especially when that starts by saying, quote, Shelton means well, but, and ellipses, 3 dots, close quote. Gaston, I have so much experience with these types. Regarding what I said about we can almost predict that Chastney is not just going to stop projects begun by the SLP, he might actually demolish them. Let's take this call. Halls of Justice will most definitely be stopped by Alan Chastney if he ever gets back in control. He said he wanted an open space from the Printry to the Cathedral, for some reason known to him alone. He said he wants to stand on Jeremy Street and be able to see the Cathedral. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues. How are you doing?
First bad news, they try to destroy us. Our own station, the country station, the man close it, know that Sheldon.
Yeah.
And open old station. Have his own people campaigning for him on old station. And some people they feel that supporting the back wouldn't call this station. They come them. I'm one of them. Because they thought I was a labor. Don't let it go call that station. Because I was speaking the truth. And ask them questions.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Dika Butland, when NIC come to buy, he tell NIC, I am not selling it for you, I am not giving it to you. And lend that person money to buy. Our own land, our own thing. Spider, you wasn't there. Who battle a Spider? Let NIC take a say, old tenu, as a politique, Alan Chastney di NIC makafen ni bau. Et makabawi, et protect about la boite on by nous. Who battle a Spider? Spider, let Alan Chastney, Kenyan Tony, campaign against Diamond. Et Alan Chastney, Diamond cost nous 63 million. Take out the 3 million. 60 million. Alan Chastney sell it for stranger for 14 million. So I was who battle a Spider? Who battle a Spider? Spider, Alan Chastney really put destroy nous, sir. Est-ce que pas by ton manière? Because papa joue pas dans nos programme Sheldon. Il dit tu nous aller. Moi dit c'est sorti tuer. Ou pas ça pour un homme qui pas capable comprendre nous, qui pas capable parler langue nous, et mais c'est pays nous. Pas ça au chercher nous. Mais c'est au chercher nous. Bon, Côté où tu tout avec ce moi Sheldon. Et quoi aussi ça insulté moi. Moi tant papa Alan Chasney dit. Raison il pas ben Alan Chasney control business li because ligation cash pen l'argent côté ma qui passe moi c'est exactement ça Alan Chasney dit. C'est ça Michael Chasney dit. C'est ça Alan Chasney vient faire. Et c'est ça il était fait. Moi je voulais pas dire moi. Toutes ces bagages Alan Chasney quoi dit. Dis-moi combien il vit. Et ton sang on dit. Yo pas bail chance pour te bilivier. Ou ni depuis ou décaille. Yo bouge repère. Ou ka passer tous les métates. Ou ka passer yon. Et tout correspond dans yon. L'on fini c'est l'on complet. Ou ka chiffon di dans et tout ka passer l'autre là. Toi avec un château vite croiser. Avec château pour on là je nous donne pas de on sur nous.
Ka passer dernier bagay. Dernier bagay.
On là je nous croiser sur nous ça. Et ça qui plus moi te capable sur square. À 2 l'année qui passe, 3 l'année qui passe. On Madame Blanc, Jean, ils sont venu, ils ont monté des chaînes, bonsoir. So, yo, Kadi, the Madame Kadi, but that was the place I was there 4 years ago. Dimitri Kadi, no, it looked like it. On taxi man open me. He said that's the place. Non Blandi, you all let a man come mash out your place like that? You're not conclusion. Ça brûle moi, ça touche moi. Alan Chasney. Il participe pour tête business il nous n'est qu'à contrôler cette ici parce que c'est hôtel puis papa il pas mettre tête business papa il sont plus gros business dans nous cette ici papa il tête business so business mettre cette plus gros cette ici anyway c'est ici puis comme ministre qui oublié mais les gens des ici donne pour manger mistake autres Sheldon no bonne journée.
Oui, merci un peu. Who aussi? Sai, there are so many examples, but I'll say just one. What is Spider's point when the then Prime Minister, the not too bright one, instead of trying to decrease expenditure, he was increasing it by having government departments rent from him? Whose interest was he putting first? Good question. You know, I mean, and I'll say this again. This Suse mentality in our country, we need to watch it. We always see when things are wrong on the other side. That Radio St. Lucia board included 3 people who were former employees in senior positions, relatively speaking, at Radio St. Lucia, and they sat on that board, you know. Well, one of them became the minister. Dominic Fede, a former employee of Radio St. Lucia, the guy was the minister, along with 2 other people, one of them who was the general manager or managing director, another one was news editor. Those people sat on that board. Not one of them resigned in protest at the decision to close Radio St. Lucia. You know, not one of them did. They all went along with it. Anyway, we have another caller on the line. Hello.
Good afternoon, Shelton. How are you, my brother?
Good afternoon. I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing well. Lots of rain, but I am enjoying the rain. Shelton, I just want to tickle our memory for a little bit. Can we remember the warning we were given just after Alan Chasney get to the helms of the United Workers' Party?
Well, we were given several.
Can you remember, Shelton, a lady by the name of Mary Polios? Shelton, she warned us after the first meeting that they have, executive meeting. This lady was one of the first who left the party and warned St. Lucians. The tape is there where she came out and she warned St. Lucians that if we elect Alan Chasney, woe be unto, number 1, women and people who he believes is a threat to him. You said something today, Shelton, that this man has a vindictive soul, a vindictive spirit. I want us to remember a playing partner who said that when they were in the gardens and this man was playing and he didn't have his way, how he would have a tantrum. We were warned, you know. And today we should not be surprised as it relates to the person that we are seeing. We were warned beforehand. And I'm just saying, nothing this man does comes as a surprise to me, and it should not be a surprise to St. Lucia. Shelton, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right. We still can take a couple of calls based on the time left. 724-7325. Oh my goodness, I'm still going back to that old number. No, scratch that. It's 487-9849. You know, 2 years of habit, I guess, difficult to erase. And 4533-911. So the mobile number that you can WhatsApp call us on is 487-9849. And there is also the landline number, which is 4533-911. We're getting a call on that number right now, so let's take it. Hi, good afternoon. Real Issues. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Sheldon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go ahead. Listen to us through the phone, not on the TV or anything else.
What I have to say that is St. Lucia really going backward because UWP people said that we're going backward.
Speak up. I'm hardly hearing you.
Yeah, I'm saying that are we really going backward?
Do you see that?
Because I noticed that the young lady is bringing us gold, maybe 2 or 1, and we had a JC's Queen just recently. So I don't see that going backward. I see going forward. I don't know because they say we're going backward. But you know, come to think of it, those guys are desperate. They are very desperate. If these guys could call for election, which is 2 years away, they are desperate. So we can have to watch them very closely.
I agree.
But I know for sure we are not going backward. Forward ever, backward never.
All right. Thank you very much. And you know, there are figures they like to dispute. You know, there are figures about employment. There are figures about economic growth. There are figures about tourism, the arrivals, the stayover visitors. There are figures about exports. There are figures about sector activity, whether in construction, whether in agriculture, what they are, you know, figures that they use themselves, but all of a sudden they're trying to cast doubt on it, create, you know, some story about St. Lucia that it is, oh my goodness, it's a horror story. It's a hellhole. How St. Lucia is going backward. And oh my goodness, life in St. Lucia under Philip J. Pierre. That is not the experience of everyday people that they're recording. We are sure there are people who are catching hell, as we say. We are sure there are people who have great difficulty in their lives, and that has been going on from time. Some of it through bad choices and decisions that they make. Some of them inherited economic disadvantage. Some of them, you know, all kinds of different reasons for poverty and unemployment and hardship and that sort of thing. It has been going on. At times, even your efforts that are being targeted to help those people, it comes up with all kinds of complications and difficulties and so on, you know, because of circumstances, location, a whole lot of... Sometimes you find people who don't have food to eat, you go and you give them, you know, things, you make provisions for them, you put the bag. Before it reached there, they have relatives who waiting to pounce on it and to take it heartlessly and to leave them without because they're incapacitated, they can't see very well. The very people they're depending to come and take a glass of water are the people who pilfer the things that they have. You have this never too well vagabond, you know, son or whatever who never look after his mother. You come, you make some provisions for her. He can't wait to come and take it and to give away. You know, a whole lot of things. It's difficult for you to help them. You virtually have to have security there because the very people who are supposed to care about them, they don't care about them. And a lot of things, there's a lot of manipulation going on among people. What, you're going to deploy a whole police squad and so on so that you can give. But help is being offered and provided and given to those people, you know. Things to help people who are poor, all kinds of programs and so on to look out for those who are, you know, marginalized and dispossessed and indigent and so on. These things are being done and attempted in the country. We're not 100% successful in all of it, but There is a policy position to look out for those people and to make interventions to help them. Income support payment. We're hearing just this week, about the payments to be made, on Trinity Church Road and the payments for the north and the payments for the south and all of that. We're being here, the monthly payments to give people some money to help them with their lives and so on. Many people criticize that. They don't believe it should be done. But some people, you just cannot put them in the category that they need to go and get a job and so on. There are different reasons why they're poor. Anyway, we're rapidly reaching the time. Let me see if there are a couple more messages that I can read. The Democrats have it's 2 o'clock already. The Democrats have adopted a new slogan for the upcoming election. We're not going back. I think we should adopt it and add to Tropical Trump. So we're not going back to Tropical Trump. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Facebook Live people, every day I say I'm going to come to you. But, the time goes by so quickly. Natoki Anthony, nice to see you with us today. I know you follow us, but I don't always see you on the live during the time of the program. And so many others of you who are our regulars who are there. Delisha Joseph, I've never had a chance to welcome you personally. But thank you very much for being part of it. All right, we have to go now, folks. Till tomorrow. Shelton Daniel signing out. Don't forget to watch out for Juju this afternoon.
Numbers for the midday draw of Tuesday, 6 August 2024 were Double Daily Grand 2, 4, 5, 12. Big 4, 5, 6, 1, 1. The Big 4 multi-X drawn is 3X. Pick 2, 2, 7. The Pick 2 multi-X drawn is 3X. 1 off, 1, 0, 7. Lucky 3, 6, 5, 3. The Lucky 3 multi-X drawn is 5X.
Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
The man, the voice. Your hero is